This is Entrepreneurs Get Visible, the podcast for people who want more impact, influence, and income. I'm Anna Parker-Naples, and I'll be sharing with you proven methods from leading entrepreneurs that help you get visible as an authority in your field. Because anything's possible when you get visible. If you're burning out working one-to-one with clients, then I cannot recommend highly enough creating online courses or group programs that you facilitate online. This can take you from that burnout feeling of reaching capacity in your diary to being able to serve one-to-many. So instead of that one-to-one where your diary is booked out, you are serving one-to-many. The good thing about this as well is that when you start to serve one-to-many, your price point potentially comes down, so you become more accessible to more people. Plus, they can learn in their own time potentially, which means that you are not having to fit it in with their diary as well. You can do it on your time, on your schedule, when it suits you. Creating an online course or a group program gives you more time, gives you more freedom, and it allows you to reach more people. And both of those things together, the time and the people element, enables you to make more money, to have an increased income. So how do you get started creating an online course or a group program? So first of all, it's working out what are you passionate about? What can you teach? What are you known for? And these might be the kinds of things that you're already putting into your content on social media. Go back to basics and think, what can I teach? What do I know? What am I passionate about? And then you want to do a little bit of research. Go online and find the kind of titles that books in that niche area are on. That might give you an idea of the kind of things people are buying. Go on places that have online courses such as Udemy or Udemy. You can also go on to places like LinkedIn where they have their learning online courses available. There are so many different places where there are online courses. You want to go in there and see the kind of things you're good at that you know about, what is selling and what kind of titles are selling. So this comes back to that keywords and search engine optimization thing. And also, how are they solving someone's problem? Again, this comes back to the ideal client avatar that I've talked about earlier on in this series. So who are you creating it for? What do you already know? And how can you package that up together? So it might be that if you are working as a coach or as a speaker, or perhaps you facilitate training in some way, or your company is known for a particular thing, maybe there are 5 to 8 steps that people need to take to get that breadth of knowledge that you share, to get that result. How can you break that down into a 5 to 8 week program that, instead of creating it all up front and not knowing whether it's going to be successful or not, instead of investing all that time, money, and attention on building it, sketch it out in your head, sketch it out on paper, and then start to talk to people that you know who are your ideal client about whether this is something they would be interested in. And one of the best ways to do this is to launch it as a beta or a beta program. So it's your trial version of that course. You offer it for a much lower fee than it will be, always positioning that it is valuable, that it is worth a lot, but you want the right people on board to help you test and trial your material. But they will still be learning quality material from you. So what you can do once you've got this idea of this signature program are potentially the things that you want to have included, that you want to teach. I like to brainstorm this all out on a table with some good old-fashioned post-it notes. Get all of the top topics that I want to cover within my teach, line them all up and think what fits where, what can be in week 1 syllabus, what can be in week 2 syllabus, all the way up to potentially week 8. Now, when you're looking at creating an online course for the first time, I'd encourage you actually to do it within a group program first, so you can test, trial, pivot, learn from your mistakes, grow from your mistakes, get that valuable feedback. Take that valuable feedback as important learning steps for when you then create a much more polished version of an online course, which is completely hands off. The best way to create a group program right now, as far as I'm concerned, is within a Facebook group. Create a private group for those who are taking part. so that you can have that constant drip feed of community within that as well. And then you can either do things as a Facebook Live, you can do your live teaches as a Facebook Live, or you could bring them onto something like Zoom so that you can have a much more interactive classroom feel with keynote slides or PowerPoint slides with you talking over, or it could just be to camera, you sharing your worth. And you can decide how interactive you want those live teach sessions to be. And those live teach sessions, particularly if you're using PowerPoint and you decide that you're not going to allow much chat within that teach, you could potentially, as you deliver that live course, be creating and recording it with an idea that that is going to be a version of your online course that can go up onto one of the sites such as Udemy. So you want to be open to trialing, testing and getting feedback. What you don't want to do is spend hours and hours and hours, weeks and weeks and weeks procrastinating over getting your videos perfect, because imperfect action is always stronger, and then you can refine. But moving from serving one-to-one and reaching burnout and reaching capacity in your diary to moving to group programs and online courses is a powerful move for you, for your bank balance, for your influence, and for the impact that you can create, because you can reach many more people. So just to recap then, move from one-to-one to one-to-many. It gives you more time, you can reach more people. You've got to think about what you can teach, what you're passionate about. Do your research on the kind of online courses that are selling right now, and what could you do that is similar with your own twist. What could you create into a signature program? Look at all the things you could teach, get them on post-it notes, play around with them and break them up into potentially 5 or 8 weeks of material or somewhere in between. Thinking about how would I introduce this subject? What do they need to do? What's the core of the learning? What additional materials might go with it as well, potentially templates, lists, or maybe you don't feel you need that in the first time you deliver it. Find out if you can get people to pay you to run this for the first time as a beta program, so that you can test it, trial it, get the results, get the feedback and get the testimonials ready to go out and launch this and make it your signature program that you are known for. And once it is then an online course, that then becomes passive income. You have created it once and it is going out into the world and bringing you in money while you sleep. Thank you for listening to Entrepreneurs Get Visible. To get your free checklist on how to raise your profile and to find out about our community, go to annaparkernaples.co.uk/get visible.